Have you ever noticed how some people just walk into a room and like everyone just looks at them? They just have this like aura of confidence and you're just kind of like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
They must be really important.
Right.
Well, a lot of that is communication, and that's especially true in a job interview.
Yeah.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into this conversation between Emma, who's getting ready to go on a bunch of job interviews, and her friend Ryan, who's basically a communication guru. He gives her some really interesting tips that might just totally change how you think about like presenting yourself.
Oh, very cool.
So we're hoping that this deep dive will give you some tools and tips to help you totally ace your next interview.
I love that.
So let's jump right in.
Okay.
So one of the things that Ryan jumps right into is this idea of using what he calls business level vocabulary.
Okay.
And so one example that they talk about is instead of saying, I finished the project,
Right.
he suggests saying something like, I successfully accomplished the project objectives. You know, I gotta admit, when I first heard that, I was like, whoa, that's a little much.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
But you know, he really does make a good point.
Yeah, I think what's fascinating here is we often underestimate the power of language. It's not just about the words we say, but like how we say it.
Totally. And Ryan really emphasizes that because finished kind of makes it sound like you just like checked a box.
Right.
But like accomplished the objectives makes it sound like you were really thinking strategically.
Right.
Like you focused on results.
Yeah.
And you get things done.
It paints this picture of someone who's really driven.
Yeah.
Takes initiative.
Exactly.
They're not just passively completing tasks. They're out there making things happen.
It's like you're speaking the language of success.
Exactly.
And so they talk about a couple other words too, like using collaborate instead of work together, or objective instead of goal.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, these aren't just like synonyms. These words have different weights to them, you know, different connotations. So like collaborate suggests a much more like active and engaged approach.
Yeah.
You're not just working alongside someone. You're actively sharing ideas.
Right.
Contributing to a shared outcome.
So it's about really being mindful about what words you're using and how they reflect your experiences and skills.
Exactly.
So what are some other like casual words that you hear people use that they could level up for an interview?
Oh gosh, so many.
I bet.
I often hear people say I'm good at instead of I'm proficient in.
Oh, yeah.
Or like I helped with instead of I contributed to.
Yeah.
Like really owning those accomplishments and using that language that just highlights that expertise.
So it's not about being like shy about it.
Right.
It's about really showcasing your value.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's move on to something that I think makes a lot of people nervous.
Okay.
That's self-introduction. So Ryan gives this 4-step formula to Emma, and I gotta say, it's actually pretty clever. So why don't you walk us through it?
Well, I think it's a classic structure for a reason. It's really designed to grab that attention.
Yeah.
Create a clear story.
Okay.
And really leave a lasting impression.
Okay, so what are those 4 steps?
So step 1, it's all about establishing your identity.
Okay.
So you start with your name. And you give a brief background, like your current role maybe, or your field of study.
Okay.
And it just kind of anchors the interviewer.
Okay.
Gives them a framework for understanding your experience.
So it's like setting the stage.
Exactly. Step 2 is highlighting those skills and experience.
Okay.
So this is where you connect your background to what the job needs.
Okay.
What are those specific skills that make you a strong candidate?
Yeah. And this is where those power words come in handy.
Absolutely.
Right.
So using that strong action-oriented language, you can really paint a vivid picture of what you're capable of.
So step 3.
Step 3 is expressing enthusiasm.
Okay.
Why are you genuinely interested in this job?
Yeah, it's about showing that you've done your research.
Exactly.
That you're not just applying for any job.
Right. You're genuinely interested in this specific opportunity. And then finally, you end with a really concise and memorable statement that sums up your value.
So what makes you unique?
Yeah. What can you bring to the table that nobody else can?
Okay, so it's like the cherry on top of the introduction.
Exactly.
So Emma actually gives a sample introduction, and I thought this was really good.
Okay.
She says, hello, my name is Emma Johnson. I recently graduated with a degree in marketing, and I have experience working on digital campaigns.
Yeah.
I'm highly skilled in social media strategy and content creation. I'm excited about this opportunity because I'm passionate about innovative marketing solutions.
Wow, she really hit all the points.
Yeah, she did. And it was so smooth.
Yeah.
It's like she was so confident. She was concise. and you just want to know more.
Absolutely.
It's like a masterclass in self-presentation.
It's a great example of how that structure and clarity can really make a huge difference.
Okay, so I know we've got more to cover.
We do.
But let's move on to the part that I think really fills people with dread.
Oh, yeah?
The interview questions themselves.
Oh, yeah. Those can be scary.
Yeah, so Ryan goes into a few of them.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, he's got some insights that I wish I had known, like, way back when.
Really?
So let's start with tell me about yourself.
Okay.
So what's interesting is his advice here is a little bit different from, like, conventional wisdom.
Okay.
So he says
to
focus on, like, your career journey and your relevant skills. But he also says you should inject a little bit of your personality in there.
Oh, interesting.
Like, share a quick story.
Yeah.
Or maybe, like, a personal interest.
Right.
That highlights, like, something positive.
Oh, I like that.
I always thought you had to keep it, like, totally professional.
Yeah, I can see how a little bit of personality could make you stand out.
Yeah.
And help you connect with that interviewer.
Yeah, because they're not just looking for a robot.
Right. They want to know who you are.
Right.
See if you'd be a good fit.
So it's about finding that balance.
Yes.
Between professional and being authentic.
Exactly.
And I think that applies to other questions too, like what are your strengths?
Yeah, that's a classic.
Ryan's advice here is to choose strengths that match what's on the job description.
Oh, okay. So be strategic about it.
Yeah, so if they're looking for a team player, you highlight your collaboration skills.
Makes sense.
If it's problem solving, you showcase your analytical skills.
So you're really showing them that you understand what they need.
Right. It's not just about listing off random strengths. It's about saying, like, I have what you need.
It's about tailoring that message to your audience.
It all comes back to strategic communication.
It all does.
Okay, so now the question that I think makes everyone sweat.
Which one is that?
What are your weaknesses?
Oh, yeah. That one's tough.
Ryan's suggestion is to be honest, but to frame your weaknesses as areas for improvement.
Okay, so can you give me an example?
Yeah, so like instead of saying I'm terrible at time management,
right,
you could say something like I'm actively working on improving my time management skills by using the new app.
Yeah.
And by prioritizing my tasks.
So you're owning it, but you're also showing them that you're trying to get better.
Yeah, interviewers know that nobody's perfect.
Yeah, of course.
But they want to see that you're self-aware and that you're taking steps to improve.
It shows initiative.
This is so helpful.
I know, right?
I wish I had known this stuff like years ago.
Me too.
So much good stuff here.
And we're just getting started.
I know, this is great.
There's so much more to talk about.
I know, I can't wait to get into it.
Me either.
Stay with us as we dive deeper into Ryan's advice on asking insightful questions, the importance of nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
And just the overall mindset shift.
It's going to be good.
That can help you conquer any interview.
I can't wait.
Me neither. Okay, so we've been talking about all this great advice that Ryan gives Emma about how to handle those tough interview questions.
Right.
But here's where I think it gets really interesting.
Okay.
He really stresses this point that I think a lot of people forget about.
What's that?
It's like you got to shift your mindset.
Okay.
It's not just about being interviewed. You're also kind of interviewing them.
Oh, I like that.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You're not just there to answer their questions.
Yeah.
We're also there to figure out, like, is this company right for me?
Exactly.
Is this job right for me?
Yeah, and a good way to do that is to ask some thoughtful questions yourself.
And Ryan gives some great examples.
Okay.
Like, he says Emma could ask something like, what does a typical day look like in this role? Or how does your company support professional development?
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, these might seem like really simple questions.
Right.
But why are they so important?
Well, because you're going beyond just the surface level.
Yeah.
You're showing a genuine curiosity about the work, the company culture.
Right.
The opportunities for growth.
You're basically saying, I'm not just here for a paycheck.
Yeah.
I want to be somewhere that I can thrive.
Exactly. You're invested.
Yeah.
You're thinking long term.
And it gives you so much information to decide if you even want to work there.
Yeah, if they can't answer those questions.
Yeah.
Or if you don't like the answers, that's a red flag.
Huge red flag.
You need to pay attention to those things.
Yeah. So now Ryan goes into another thing that I think is so important.
Okay.
But so many people don't even think about it.
What's that?
Those nonverbal cues.
Oh, yeah. Body language.
Oh, I am so bad at that.
Really?
I get so nervous in interviews.
Oh, yeah.
I forget to even smile.
I think we all get a little nervous.
Right, but it makes such a difference.
It does.
So what are some things that we should be thinking about?
Well, eye contact is a big one. It shows that you're engaged and you're listening.
Right.
But you don't want to stare them down.
Right. You got to find that balance.
Exactly. You want to look confident and approachable.
And then your posture.
Yeah.
Like, I always feel like I'm slouching.
Sit up straight.
Okay.
But don't be like a robot. Just relaxed and confident.
What about, like, mirroring their body language?
Oh, that's interesting.
Have you heard of that?
I have, yeah. I think if it's done subtly, it can help you connect with them.
Okay.
But don't, like, copy everything they do.
Right, right.
Just be aware of their posture and gesture.
Yeah, just be natural.
Exactly.
Well, and facial expressions.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Smiling, nodding. Just showing that you're listening.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
It's, like, all about showing that you're human. And that you're interested.
Exactly.
What I really like about all of this
is
it's not about pretending to be somebody you're not.
Right.
It's about being yourself.
Your best self.
Yeah, but just like amplifying that.
It's exactly
who you really are.
And Ryan also talks about something else that's super important.
Okay.
Practice.
Oh, yeah. I used to hate practicing.
Really?
I thought it was like cheesy.
Oh.
But now I realize it's so important.
It is.
It helps you feel so much more confident.
You got to rehearse those answers.
Right.
Think through those stories. Just be prepared.
It really ties into that whole mindset shift.
Yes.
Ryan's all about like moving away from that fear and self-doubt and just like embracing your confidence, believing in yourself.
It's about seeing the interview as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Not a test.
It's not an interrogation.
Right. It's a chance to connect.
Yeah.
Showcase your skills.
Yeah.
Explore a partnership.
I love that.
It takes the pressure off.
It really does.
And you can actually enjoy it.
You know when you're excited about the job and you're confident in your abilities?
Yeah.
It really shows.
It does.
Ryan has given us so much to think about.
I know so many good tips.
It's like a roadmap.
A roadmap to success.
For navigating that interview process.
With confidence.
With grace. And while you can't predict everything in an interview, if you follow this advice, your chances of success go way up.
They do.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
we
want to leave you with a few takeaways.
Yeah.
And a thought-provoking question.
Ooh, I like it.
For your own job search journey.
Okay, sounds good.
Stay tuned. So we've really gone deep, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Into this whole world of job interviews.
Yeah, all thanks to Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan's awesome.
He is.
He's like everybody's interview coach.
Right.
And even though we can't cover like every little thing about interviews, I think we've hit on like the big stuff.
Yeah, the important stuff.
Like how important it is to use the right words.
And how to talk about your experiences.
Yeah, like telling those stories.
Yeah, and asking good questions.
Don't forget about those nonverbal cues.
Body language is huge.
And like that whole thing about mindset.
Yeah, you got to believe in yourself.
You're right. Approach it like an opportunity.
Exactly.
Not like you're being interrogated.
It's a conversation.
So let's wrap up with like a few key takeaways.
Love it.
So number 1, language matters.
Yes. Choose those words carefully.
Use those power words.
Action verbs.
Make yourself sound amazing.
Exactly.
Number 2, practice, practice, practice.
It's all about practice.
Rehearse those answers.
Yeah, tell those stories.
Get comfortable talking about yourself.
The more prepared you are, the better you'll do.
Number 3, don't forget to ask questions.
Yes, show them you're curious.
Engaged.
About acting.
And it helps you decide if you even want the job.
So important.
And last but not least.
Okay, the big one.
Mindset.
It's everything.
Be confident.
Enthusiastic.
Show them who you are.
You got this.
So we want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm ready.
What makes you a strong candidate?
Ooh.
What are your unique skills?
Yes.
Experiences?
What do you bring to the table?
Don't sell yourself short.
Right.
You have so much to offer.
Everyone does.
It's all about figuring out what makes you special.
And then showing it off.
And remember, the job search can be tough.
Oh, yeah. It can be a grind.
But if you prepare yourself and you have the right mindset and you believe in yourself,
it's all about confidence.
You can do it.
You can totally crush it.
We believe in you.
We do.
Go out there and get that dream job.
Yes. Show them what you're made of.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yes. Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Into another fascinating topic.
Bye for now.
See ya.